Welcome back to APUSH in under 3 minutes. No time for intros, let's get into it. To close out this unit, we're gonna talk about politics. Throughout US history, we've gone through many political parties. For the Gilded Age, the US has settled on the Republicans and Democrats. Republicans were strongest in the North, were often backed by big businesses and industry, and supported high tariffs along with gold standard currency. Democrats were strongest in the South. They often drew support from farmers and immigrants, and they liked low tariffs, and they were more likely to support something like free silver as the currency system. The ironic part here is that these parties actually had a lot similar to one another. They both were pro-business, they both avoided major reform, they both still relied on Civil War loyalty for votes, and most of all, they both were horribly corrupt. Let's zoom in on the corruption. Something called political machines traded jobs and aid for votes, especially in immigrant neighborhoods. Now they were corrupt, but they also filled a welfare gap the government ignored. A good example of this was Tammany Hall in New York City. The Pendleton Civil Service Act tried to fix this by creating merit-based federal jobs. But even with this, distrust in government still stayed high. And this is where some agrarian activists will form the People's Party, or rather better known as the populist movement. Pretty much this movement will argue that the government should protect ordinary people, not corporations. That means free silver, a graduated income tax, a regulation on railroads, and a lot more things will be argued for. A Democratic leader who championed key populist ideals is a man named William Jennings Bryan. He's best known for his famous Cross of Gold speech, where he argued that ordinary Americans shouldn't be, quote, crucified upon a cross of gold, condemning the gold standard and calling for free silver to expand the money supply. Now this speech is a little complex to understand, but to simplify it, all he was really trying to do is expand money policies to try and help farmers and laborers, so basically the common citizen. Now even though populists won't be elected for any presidential elections, you will see their ideas come up again in progressivism and the New Deal. And why don't we call it a day there? On the screen now are AP style questions for this topic. Pause now. I'll put the answers on the screen now. I hope this unit wasn't too bad, and I will see you in Unit 7.